This is FIBA Podcast. Thank you for joining us in our morning daily devotion.
Greetings. We are currently in a 7-day series on the topic of 7 Hebrew words for worship, exploring the different expressions of worship as the Bible teaches us. My prayer is that each of these words would be as enlightening to you as it was to me, and informs as well as guides your experience of worshipping our living God. Let's get into the text. Yesterday, we looked at the first Hebrew word for worship, shachah, which means to bow down or prostrate oneself. That word implies a deep reverential awe, leading to a natural inclination to bow down in humility before true greatness. You will be surprised today to find our next word for understanding biblical worship, because as somber, intimate, and reverential as the word shachah represents, today's word perhaps lies at the other end of the spectrum. And I'll even make a bet that you know this word, or at least a form of it. More on that later. The second Hebrew word that we see today for worship is halal. Halal is the kind of word used to denote expressive, joyful, and loud praise. It can certainly involve celebration and exuberance, and even borderline foolish kind of joy. This is the kind of exuberance that had King David dancing because it was a monumental celebration of the coming of the Ark of the Covenant to Jerusalem. Halal is not a simple word. It's the kind of joy and celebration one experiences when your favorite cricket or football team has won. Perhaps the closest example that may even scratch the surface of this meaning would be to observe how RCB won the IPL finals for the first time after 18 years in 2025. The reaction of the crowd was priceless. Bangalore lit up that night. Everyone who didn't celebrate had to reckon with the forces outside that did. The unbelievable unity and the shameless celebration that ensued was historical. Halal is the word that captures this expression. It is an absolute exuberant celebration for what God has done. The kind of shouts of praise that would ensue after God brought a victory in a war in the Old Testament, or after He accomplished something tremendous that resulted in long-awaited bursts of praise. This is also the same word from where we derive the word hallelujah, literally meaning praise Yahweh or praise the Lord, carrying the same exuberance, implying that God is worthy of our shouts of praise. This is an interesting contrast to the previous word shachah, which is intimate, reverential, and related to awe. And God is worthy of that by virtue of His magnitude. Halal is ridiculous praise, cheering for God for His acts like you would respond to your favorite team at a live football stadium. Interestingly, have you noticed something about football or soccer? Notice how songs of chants have developed purely from the fan base, and that too spontaneously in the stadium? Notice how songs develop for these events to get people into the spirit of the sport? That is the exact ideology behind halal. Your happiness knows no bounds that you break out into cheerful praise and spontaneous songs for all that God has done. I had the privilege of experiencing this at an African American church during my time in the United States. Pastor Charlie Dates is one of the few preachers of this generation that I sincerely admire for his expert blend of sound doctrine as well as enthusiastic African American preaching. Oh, beloved, the invisible wall between the pulpit and the congregation is nearly null. The congregation actively respond with cheers and praises, almost dialoguing with the preacher. And that was one of the most amazing experiences of church in my life. For the first time, church felt as exciting as a football stadium. Dearly beloved, God is not only worthy of your reverential awe, that makes an impact on your experience on Him forever, just as it did for Moses. But He is also worthy of your most ridiculous and obnoxious praises, your public spectacle of glorifying Him for His mighty acts of power, when you truly experience His deliverance and victory. I'll see you in the next one.
Dear listener, we are here to stand with you in your time of need. We want to pray with you and for your prayer request. Do you need someone to talk to? We are here for you. Call us or send a message at +91 636 425 2164 +91 636 425 2164. God bless you.